Rangers are set for an incredibly difficult game on Thursday night as they welcome Athletic Club to Ibrox for their Europa League quarter-final first leg clash. Despite being massive underdogs, Rangers have reportedly been handed a huge boost going into the game, which we will discuss in today's video, whilst also going over all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, Rangers should do whatever it takes to convince Greg Taylor to cross the Old Firm divide when his Celtic deal runs out at the end of the season, reckons Michael Stewart. Hoops boss Brendan Rodgers has confirmed the left-back is set to bring his 6-year spell at Parkhead to an end when his contract expires this summer, with Arsenal's Kieran Tierney rejoining his boyhood club as a direct replacement. The Scotland international has been tipped for a stunning move to Ibrox, and Stewart believes Rangers should attempt to snatch the first team player directly from their city rivals, a feat no Rangers team has managed since Robert Campbell crossed the Old Firm divide 119 years ago. Speaking on the Premier Sports Scottish Football Social Club, Stewart said, "I actually floated this idea 2 or 3 weeks ago. From a Rangers perspective, yeah, I would. I don't know what Greg Taylor will be thinking, but from Rangers' perspective, it's a free transfer, and he is in the Scotland squad, so it's another Scottish player, which is a huge asset. I don't know whether Greg Taylor would be interested, but he's a quality player. But for me, he's better than Jefta, and he's better than Ridvan Yilmaz, so I would do it." Dinamo Zagreb, who failed in a January bid, are also reportedly keen on signing the 27-year-old, with a number of Major League Soccer clubs interested. Now, Rangers have been handed a massive boost ahead of their Athletic Club clash, as Spain's #1 keeper, Unai Simon, has confirmed he won't play at Ibrox this week in the Europa League quarter-final because of Athletic Bilbao's rotation policy. Rangers face the Spanish cracks in the first leg in Glasgow and will be desperate to avoid a 6th home defeat in a row. But they won't come up against Euro 2024 hero and one of the best keepers in the world, Simon, because they play their backup keeper, Julian Aguirre-Zabala, in European games instead, and they won't change that even in the latter stages of the competition. Simon said, "I'm not going to play in Glasgow. European competition belongs to Julian. He'll have to be ready for anything at Ibrox because he's the one who plays in Europe." Simon, 27, has been Spain's keeper for both the previous World Cup and the European Championships, where he helped them beat England in the final. However, Athletic manager Ernesto Valverde has opted to use 24-year-old backup Aguirre-Zabala for 9 European games this season, including in both of their games against Roma in the last round. Last season, he played in every minute of Bilbao's Copa del Rey run and was the hero in the penalty shootout in the final against Mallorca as they claimed the trophy for the first time in 40 years, and he will be in goal in Glasgow. In other news, Rangers will have to break down the meanest defence in Europe's top leagues on Thursday when they face Athletic Bilbao. Barry Ferguson's side will welcome the La Liga High Flyers to Ibrox for the first leg of the Europa League quarter-finals on Thursday evening. But they will have to break down a rock-solid defence if they are to take any kind of advantage to the Basque region. Athletic have conceded just 24 goals in 30 league games, and they can boast the joint stingiest defence in any of Europe's top 5 leagues. Only Atletico Madrid have the same record as Bilbao, and they are ahead of Napoli, Getafe, PSG, and Arsenal. And the Spaniards are even more formidable at their home, ahead of next week's return. They have conceded just 9 goals at their San Mamés home in 15 matches, which have included 6 clean sheets. Next best in Europe is Nottingham Forest, who have conceded only 10 goals, and they are also ahead of Barcelona, PSG, Auxerre and Napoli with 11 goals conceded. Before we get into our next story, if you haven't already, please make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our community so you never miss out. Now in other news, there's a growing sense of unease behind the scenes at Ibrox as 49ers Enterprises continue to edge toward completing their long-anticipated takeover of Rangers Football Club. What was once seen as a bold new dawn for the Scottish Giants is now beginning to resemble a drawn-out waiting game, and it's testing the patience of key figures inside the club. Rangers' recent on-field form hasn't helped. A shock defeat to Hibernian has further dented the momentum that had been building in earlier stages of the season. Goalkeeper Jack Butland, once viewed as one of the more consistent performers in the side, is now facing renewed criticism following another costly mistake. Yet despite the rocky patch, fans have largely remained hopeful, buoyed by the promise of new ownership. The impending arrival of the 49ers and businessman Andrew Kavanagh has kept spirits afloat, offering a glimmer of change and investment at a time when the club desperately needs a reset. But with weeks now having passed without any concrete updates from Glasgow, that optimism is beginning to turn into anxiety. Concerns over the deal's silence were addressed this week by Daily Record journalists Scott Burns and Keith Jackson during a segment on Record Sports Hotline Live. Burns admitted that while the deal is quite close to the finishing line, frustration is beginning to build within the Ibrox boardroom. I'm told there are maybe some Rangers directors who are getting a bit frustrated at the time taken to complete this deal, Burns revealed. Not that it's on the brink or anything, but yes, there's definitely a feeling of impatience. Jackson was quick to elaborate on just how complex the takeover really is, and why it was never going to be a straightforward affair. You've got Dave King, John Bennett and Barry Scott who are looking to sell outright. Their entire shareholding is expected to go, which would bump Andrew Kavanagh and the 49ers' stake to around 25%, Jackson explained. But the deal isn't as clean-cut as it might seem. This was never going to be a case of X sells to Y like it was when the 49ers completed their business at Leeds United. The structure at Rangers is far more tangled, and that's been a major factor in the delay. Despite whisperers online suggesting the deal could collapse altogether, Jackson was keen to shut down such rumors. While complications remain, sources close to the situation maintain that the deal is very much alive, just frustratingly slow. For Rangers supporters, the waiting game continues, but as directors grow increasingly restless and on-pitch performances falter, the pressure is mounting on all parties to get the deal over the line, and soon. Ultimately, the proposed takeover by 49ers Enterprises and Andrew Kavanagh still represents a potentially transformative moment in Rangers' modern era. One that could bring much-needed investment, fresh ideas, and a renewed sense of direction both on and off the pitch. But the longer the process drags on, the more strain it places on an already pressured environment at Ibrox. With directors growing impatient, fans left in the dark, and the team struggling for consistency, timing has never felt more critical. If the 49ers are to win over the Rangers faithful and set the tone for a new era of ambition, clarity, and decisive action in the coming weeks, will be absolutely essential. The clock is ticking, and Ibrox is waiting. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so make sure you join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.